Hello, good morning, beautiful people of Nigeria. My name is Victor Oguyinka. We are back for today in the news on Vanguard Live, and we have a whole lot of news here from different newspapers, as we always do every morning. So we urge you to just stay glued, like, share, and bring your comments in. You know that segment where we take comments, make it clean and simple. If you want us to feature you here, and I have with me Emmanuel Okogba. We do this together most morning. Emmanuel, you're welcome.
Good morning.
Another beautiful Monday morning here we have.
Yes.
Straight to the headlines. We have the Vanguard, and we have insecurity. Alaafin writes Buhari blast security chiefs. And then we have the rider say security apparatus overstretched, rustic. 4 Turkish national kidnapped by 6-man gang in Kwara. Christian Elders Forum urges government to use ISPA model for state police. What states in Nigeria do we have right now and have not experienced or encountered the latest trend of insecurity we have? If it is not banditry or kidnapping or terrorism, is there any state presently in this country that has not gone through the high of these gory tales that we have these days?
Well, if there's any state like that, that state must have experienced the ripple effect, kind of. Because the other day we talked about how some people that were victims of insecurity, they're running into other states to seek solace, to seek refuge. So if there's any state that has not felt it, that state must have felt the effect of the occurrence in another state. So it has been like that. The insecurity issue in Nigeria.
Yeah, very, very seriously. And Alaafin is one that doesn't really talk much, just once a while. But this time that he has opened his mouth, it doesn't look good. And I can see that it's on the front page of major newspapers across the nation too. So this is a very serious way. And this was done after the vice president visited him. The president was supposed to ask the vice president to go to the southwest and meet with some monarchs to discuss some insecurity issues. So that was when this conversation came up. And I don't know what they're expecting to get from that meeting. He has gone to a couple of monarchs, and now it's the turn of their laughing.
Yeah, he actually said the security agencies in Nigeria, they are either incompetent or bankrupt of ideas. And that is, if he puts it that way, then it's not far from the truth, because this insecurity issue has been going on over time, and you hear stories of monies that are released to buy arms, and then such events, such occurrences continue. It really brings to question if the competence of our security agencies and those in charge.
Needless to say that some group section of Nigerians have also called for the resignation not resignation, maybe the fire of some of the security chief over time. Now Alaafin is the latest voice to link to that post. Now that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard. You can get that story and see all the riders and all the handles represented on that story. And we have on the top right corner of the Vanguard on page 14, alleged molestations of visually impaired students, justice must be served. Aisha Buhari has been speaking a lot these days about rape cases, sexual scandals, and all those things. And just under that story on page 11 is the Koza story, where Dakolo raises the alarm over attempt to abduct wife.
Yeah, like you said, the first lady has been lending her voice to a lot of these cases. Even the one for Dakolo, she commented on this also, when the policemen invaded their residence over the weekend.
Yeah.
For the one for the visually impaired, it's a story of an equally blind teacher drugging and molesting his students.
That's terrible.
It's quite sad. Drugs, a student that is in that state, you still have the conscience, let me use that word, to still do something like that. Why it's really disheartening.
Very disheartening.
Like it's even good that the first lady is lending her voice to it, because that's an authority,
of course,
and lending her voice to such issues will bring everybody that's supposed to be in to take care of that case, call them to action. And
we've emphasized on this show over time that rape is wrong, and it must be banned. It's not even banned. It must be, there must be very stiff there must be a very stiff action against rapists, so that this thing can just not continue over time. Okay, that story is on page 14 and page 11 of the Vanguard. You can get the whole of that story there, and then we move straight to Edo State Assembly. it doesn't look like there's any end in sight to that one there. And
the
story is on page 12. We have Stop Disgracing APC. Edo Oyegun tells Oshiomhole.
It seems the Cold War between Oyegun and Oshiomhole is still on.
It's still on.
Yeah. Oshiomhole, Oyegun, like we have read now, he's accusing Oshiomhole of causing trouble in, being the brain behind the trouble in Edo State. Assembly. And not even Edo Assembly, they have extended, he says, is the brain behind the trouble in both Edo Assembly and Bauchi Assembly. You get because you know they have the story. You know the story behind how there was a kind of inauguration of only nine honorables in the house, and a lot of people overnight, and a lot of people frowned at it. So is the accusation that Oshiomhole is behind, but Oshiomhole has come out to deny that it's not the case, that the right thing should be done, like proper inauguration should be done, that everybody can accept that yes, this thing was done the right way.
Okay, that story goes on. But sometime last week, there was an intervention from the House of Representatives, where they went there to say that no, these people should put their house in order, that whatsoever law has been taken by those 9 people that were inaugurated is now illegal, and they were urging that a fresh inauguration should be done for the whole house. They gave them an ultimatum, and they also told them that if they don't have it done in a couple of days, they are going to take over that house.
If you look at it, how many? I'm really not sure of the number of members that make up the Edo House. But no matter the number, 9 is not even.
It's
not a true representation of the house.
I'm talking about even having them for the first sitting. The first sitting is one that nobody misses.
And then you consider the odd hour the inauguration took place. So it's really worrisome.
It's worrisome, and I think I'll be waiting to see what the House of Representatives will really do on this matter. Now that it doesn't look, because when they said it, I think the governor also replied them, telling them that no, things will still stay the way it is right now. But we are still it's still a developing story, like we would say. The last has not been heard on the story. Yeah. So if you want to catch up with that story, you can get it on page 12 of the Vanguard. Edo Assembly crisis, stop disgracing APC. Edo Oyegun tells Oshiomhole. Okay, it is also very needless to stress that Oshiomhole was the one that replaced Oyegun as the APC chairman.
Yes, that's why I mentioned that was a silent war between them.
Yeah, still, of course. On. And that's one there. Okay, so let's move to page 9, where we have presidency PDP trade words. Over $1 billion ECA security fund. Okay, security and insecurity, lot of funds being put into that one, and then very, very little results from there. Let's move straight to page 10 on that one and say, stop appointing indicted people, ASU tells Buhari. Stop appointing indicted people, ASU tells Buhari.
A quick one from that SS Good account.
Yeah.
The National Security Advisor, Babagana Monguno, came out to say that he had no idea of there was a story that they have withdrawn so far. They have withdrawn $1 billion from the SS Good account, channeled towards procurement of arms and the rest. But he said he does not have any idea of it. But then the presidency quickly came out and said that they have used a total of $490 million to purchase. They used $490 million to purchase 12 Tucano jets. And now PDP is saying that if a national security advisor can come out to say that he does not have idea of such dealings, it means there's a big question mark hanging over the way they are withdrawing money from the SS account.
Yeah.
Then to the one of the ASU asking Buhari not to appoint incompetent people, there was
not even incompetent this time, indicted people.
Okay, yes, indicted people. Yeah. There's a case of a lecturer in one university in Kwara State that was indicted for mismanagement of resources under the previous administration, but it turned out that he got appointed as the vice chancellor of that university, and it really calls to question what procedures or how they arrived at appointing him as vice chancellor when he have such a case hanging on his neck.
Really, if there's any case hanging on anybody's neck, the person should actually be stepped aside, no matter how good the person can be. Just because, it could be
in Senate climbs in the Western world. That's what you resign. But in Nigeria,
you take pride.
you are not guilty until you are proven guilty.
Of course.
Even when you are proven guilty, you try to buy your way through.
And even when you don't find your way, you get a very, very paltry bill then, and the rest of the case is
and then you
history.
continue from where you stopped.
Continue from unless you get into trouble again with the management and they want to resurrect the case and get you into. Okay, that's it on page 10 of that one. Stop appointing indicted people. ASUU tells Buhari. Okay, and today's Financial Vanguard. Yes, and you can see the story. Core investors take over as loom as insurance industry recapitalizes. That inside Financial Vanguard today. And then we have all of our columnists: Shobowale on page 29, Henry Boyo on page 30, and Owe Lakemfa on page 31. Powerful columns, those ones. And then you should not miss that. Okay, and then before we go, you can see a picture of a reception for Amechi. Yes, you can see that on the front page. Amechi, alongside with other governors from Kaduna states. You can see Benue, you can see Edo states, all together. You can see Plateau State. Yeah, that's Plateau State now. All on that front page. So you can get that very quickly. Let us go straight to the back page and talk some sports, Emmanuel. AFCON is over, and then after being named in AFCON Best 11, Igalo, has taken a bow from the Super Eagles.
Yeah, it took the intervention of Eneshro for Igalo to come back to the national team, because the fallout of the World Cup that held in Russia last year, that miss against Argentina, a lot of people came for him.
Yeah.
Threat to life and everything, so he decided to call time on the national team, but Eneshro stepped in, talked to him, and then he came back, and then he proved his doubts wrong by winning the golden boot at the just concluded AFCON. So
do you think it's time? Do you think it's time for him to leave?
Well, he still has age on his side, but looking at the setup of the national team, he's still a group of very young players that have, like I was telling somebody, even the oldest person in that team, who was Mikel, was also retired from the national team. Even the oldest person can make it to the next World Cup.
Of course.
So it's still a very young group of players.
Where experience is really needed.
Yes, where experience is really needed.
Igalo would have.
Really been able to, because his replacement now, the person that I believe they are putting up to replace him is this Victor Osimhen. But we saw how Osimhen was just running around that day when they came in for the match against Tunisia. So it's just like you said, experience really play because Edmund Fernando started the World Cup qualifier. The draws for the 2021 AFCON is already out, so there's a lot, and it will take extra work for Eneshro to find a perfect replacement for Igalo.
Yeah, so that's it, and you can see after being named in AFCON Best 11, Igalo says, "Those who judge never understand."
Yeah, he shot his doubters up.
Yeah,
and that's the right way to do it.
Those who judge never understand. Never understand what?
Never understand what it's like. It's not easy to play football to start with.
It's not easy to do anything naturally. So if you're a professional footballer, you should somehow find your way around.
If not that I was wise enough to leave the football field, the day I tried playing football, I would not have been here to tell this story. Football is not as easy as it's very easy to sit at the other side of the TV and criticize those playing football.
Did you see my picture on Jesse when in my 8 days when I had about 1,000 career goals in my lifetime?
I'm talking about running around the football field for 90 minutes. It's quite easy, but like we know, it's easier to judge.
Yeah, really,
easier to judge.
Yeah, you can feel that there, really. Okay, and I'm still talking about the AFCON Best 11 there. We have Mahrez on that list. Why not? Then we have Mane also making that list with Igalo.
The two finalists.
Yeah, it looks like those are actually the best attacking footballers in Africa these days.
Yeah.
Does that mean Salah? Where's Salah?
No, Salah.
Salah is not supposed to be on that list. I agree.
No, I believe chances are that if his team had made it to the final,
of course,
he would have
probably made it.
So the list comprises, is made up of mostly teams that made it to the semi-final and the final. Yes, semi-final and final.
Yes, basically. And of course, that's how
it's supposed to be. Yeah.
So
but my worry with this thing is the first 11 is that the likes of Ndidi and Etebo that really proved what they're made of did not make the list, but at the end of the day, like we said earlier, the list most times is drawn from those that made it to the final.
Of course. Okay, I'm still talking about retirement. There we have FIFA great Mikel on retirement.
Yeah,
you're talking about a player that have gone all through the grades.
He has contributed his part. So if he decides it's time to
footballer.
Yeah, he won the Nations Cup.
Won the Nations Cup.
Won the Nations Cup. Won the Champions League. Went to 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
I think 2 World Cups and a number of Nations Cup.
And
he felt it was the right time to end it because he started in Egypt.
Okay.
He ended in Egypt, so he felt it was the right time to do it.
Talking about the Egyptian
Egyptian
experience there for Mikel. Okay, and looks like everything most about the Nations Cup there. Then talking about sacking, Roy won't solve Eagles' problem at Guavon. Almost all the ex-internationals are asking for Roy to leave.
Well, when I knew that we're getting close to getting it right was when they stuck with Raw, even after we couldn't make it beyond the group stage at the World Cup. You know, the normal way we do our things is once
you miss
after
out,
the World Cup,
sacked.
you are getting sacked. But he has been with the national team for close to 3 how many years now, and I think he's becoming one of the longest serving Super Eagles coach. So, like Iguavon rightly said, you don't just fire and hire, because if you are bringing in a new coach, that new coach will come with his own philosophy, his own idea of how the thing should be done,
and it might just take time sometimes.
and it might just upset the whole system, and you start rebuilding again. So you don't just, I think Raw, there was a story about the weekend. I was also talking about the NFF wanting to send Raw on a refresher course. I think things like that will help to sharpen his technical, broaden his mind to different ways he can read matches and improve. Because Raw does not really strike me as a manager that can handle.
It's not a modern day manager.
But we are here now, so we cannot just fire and hire as we please. Like I said earlier, we'll start qualification for World Cup and Nations Cup tournament from now. So it's better we stick with him.
Okay, talking about sticking with Roy there after doing what looks like his best. It was somewhat contented with that bronze medal.
His target was the semi-final.
Yes, actually.
So winning a bronze is like
you got the semi-final. When you get to the semi-final, you have to play.
There's no way you are going home. Semi-final,
you're not going home.
Like you third place at the final. So
whatever he was trying to do with that statement,
he's always trying to play safe. He's always trying to excuse himself from blame.
Okay, that's Roy, and was like Umar we still wish we have him as a coach. Myself, I'm indifferent. I don't know. Okay, and talk about Iwobi slams UK media over fake news. It will be there, and with all those things. Then Joe Bonfrey, Eagles lack tactics, coercion at AFCON 2019. He's talking about Eagles here. He's talking about the coach.
If this kind of statement is coming out, is indirectly referring to the coach. Because it's the coach that comes up with the tactics and game plan So if he's saying this, it means, like I said, the Raw himself needs some kind of sharpening. It needs some kind of sharpening.
Okay, so we'll see how that pan out. Really,
the game of football changes every day, so you cannot be using the idea of 1980 to.
Do you know something just came to my mind now? If somehow the Super Eagles had won that tournament,
nobody will
be talking about this, but it doesn't change the fact that those deficiencies are there. And then we may not now really be looking at correcting them.
But okay, let's look at it this way: that it's a good thing that we didn't win it.
Honestly, it's a good thing, so that we understand the real situation of the boys, of the state of the boys and the coach, and know what to do about it. So I think I would agree for the first time really that it should actually.
I felt like the game against Algeria. You had okay, let's take it back to the game against South Africa. You saw the way Ahmed Musa and Samuel Chukwueze ran riot, made life difficult for the South African defenders. But then you go to the game against Algeria, they were nowhere.
They were just
the Algerian defender just hit them. But you would think that a coach that knows what he's supposed to do. You look for another angle into the game, a different game plan to neutralize the Algerian defense.
Before I move away from this back page, I'll ask you one last question. We had a very nice, I think one of our best football was against Cameroon.
Yes.
The indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Now, having exited those guys when we did, do you think they would have done better than the Super Eagles if they had stayed?
If Cameroon?
Yes.
For the fact that we beat them is enough reason to show.
There are not 2 games. They are
not.
On another day, we probably would have won against Algeria.
The Cameroonian side.
Yes.
Was not good. Also, the only game they won in group stage was against Guinea-Bissau.
True. So
they
had
were
not been a wonderful time for them too.
If they had beaten Nigeria, I would have been shocked because they're not really a good side. And you look at the person that was coaching them, Clarence Seedorf. That guy has been a disaster of the coach over time. He has not really succeeded. He was coach of AC Milan. He got sacked. He has coached some other clubs and
we got talking about the combination of Seedorf and Patrick Kluivert.
A very bad combination, as it turned out to be. He got sacked in the previous roles. Not that he got sacked. So he just, in Africa we accept a lot of things. He just walked into the Cameroonian side, and then the captain of the team, he made a statement that made the captain of the team resign from the side. He said the captain plays in Chinese, I think Chinese league or something. Then he came and said any player that is not playing in the top flight league will not be accepted into the squad, and that's enough to tell you that I'm not welcome into this team. So the guy resigned.
Yeah, and then if we had said the same thing, we probably wouldn't have had the likes of Igalo in the team.
Exactly. Yes.
Ended up being the best,
being highest goal scorer. So it seems like that such statements will bring discord into the team to start with. So that Cameroonian side was not even. I didn't see them as contenders for the title.
But you shouldn't take it away from Seedorf. He was one of the best in his days.
There's a difference between playing and coaching.
So automatically,
the likes of Henry that was. You know what happened to him when he went to Monaco?
You are shaking tables. Because I was going to go to Lampard also now, but it's too early. Because every time I go to this preseason and I see Lampard out, something is always going on in my head.
Let's see what.
Okay, let's just go straight to the other dailies. If you're just joining us, it is today in the news on Vanguard Live, and my name is Victor Binka. I have Emmanuel Okugba here, and then we're talking sport, politics, economic, business, and everything all together. Okay, and that's how we do it. If you're missing anything, you can please catch up with us on our website www.vanguardngr.com for all the latest news, breaking news, interviews, and then all other community reports there. So we have The Nation now. The Nation still talking about Alafin. Say Alafin to Buhari, arrest Nigerians slide to anarchy. Well, that is just it. And let's just take a quote from that. We say what is strange is the new wave of criminal-minded groups. What is again disappointing is the ease with which these criminals will leave our country should there be anarchy in the land. They have other places to return to, but Nigerians don't have another country apart from here, making it sound like some of those people are foreigners, and they might just be foreigners.
They might just be. There was a report over the weekend that some of these people, these bandits, are from Niger and some of these neighboring countries.
The stowaway guy that went to the airport,
the report said was a Nigerian also. So if we're having this kind of people come into the country to cause chaos, then it means that something's really wrong with our border.
Really,
the border control.
Something very, very wrong with that, but I must say there too. Okay, and another one they say 2 trillion project, airing contractors to face trial. Okay, airing contractor to face trial, and let's take something on Otedola. Otedola is really, really making good his money these days, and Otedola picks Sadiq Daba's medical bill. Okay, after Kichuku's timely intervention.
Yeah, for
that is done of actor
Christian Chukwu,
Christian Chukwu, sorry. Then actor Sadiq Daba. And then I can remember something very interesting Otedola said during that Chukwu era. He said he would rather spend his money, on someone like Chukwu, rather than go about spending it on on champagne, particularly. He mentioned champagne,
He's giving back to the society.
Which very, very good one there. Very good one. Okay, and then we have this day here. Buhari committed to ending insecurity, says Osinbajo. Alafin wants of looming anarchy over siege to Yoruba land. Tinubu led to rally to end criminality. Balarabe Musa Falana urged president to consider confab report. Yeah, the president should should honestly look into that confab report. Yeah, that's really not out of place there. And then we have on Daily Trust constituency project 2 trillion spent since 2000 without results. Coming from the ICPC there.
Yeah.
How do you spend 2 trillion naira and it doesn't show?
There's these constituency projects that I think from the national assembly members,
Yeah.
some of them just collect the money and they go to their communities, they just put one borehole there and then they say I've done constituency. That's what they do.
Did you hear the news where the House of Rep members said the 8 million naira monthly they get?
It's not enough.
We are coming. That's a discussion for.
They are looking at 12 states here. There are 12 states in focus here of where they collect money for constituency projects and nothing is done. They just collect the money, use it for their, and then at the end, like I said, when they see that those in the community want to raise alarm, or maybe there's time for some sort of investigation, they just go and sink one ball and then
or street lights.
Yes, that's what they do most times. Most of them, it's either borehole or street light.
Did you see that picture of the commissioner that was commissioning a street light, just one street light, like this lamp?
Not even a line of street.
No, it's like just one.
Interesting.
Somewhere in South, I don't want to mention. But then again, 2000, from year 2000, we're talking about 19 years ago. Why should the ICPC wait for this long? That's another thing, really. At the end of every tenure, we should start going about accountability. What are they supposed to do that they didn't do? 2015 was the beginning of an era that ended 2019. Right now, we're supposed to be asking a lot of questions. What happened in the last 4 years? Those are some of the things the ICPC, EFCC are supposed to be doing.
The question should be, I believe the person doing this now might be a new person
in the ICPC.
Yes, that came into office. What we should be asking is, he's talking about from 2000. Who were those in charge? Who were those in office in ICPC from this 2000 to, because by the time you start digging, you see a lot of worms. How were those people that collected the constituency project money, how were they able to get away with not executing those projects?
Very, 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 very.
There are a lot of questions.
There are lots of questions, and then still talking about getting money and then not, not doing anything with it. You can see the picture on the front page of the Trust there. Civil servant protest with a mock coffin over their alleged unpaid salaries at Yagba West local government area of Kogi State and the weekend. Still a very, very bad one there. Kogi State, yeah. I think they're having an election coming up very soon.
Yeah, November.
Okay, that's that one, and we go straight to the Punch. The Punch, we have Ruga controversy. Neck meat on livestock land grazing reserves get 3.2 billion naira. Our ranch is not for Ruga, Ondo, Ekiti.
A lot of people have really like I said this thing before. A lot of people were kicking against. A lot of state governments kicked against this Ruga, and this governor of Ekiti State is from the APC.
Both of them.
Okay, even Ondo from the APC. So they'll be kicking against. It means, let's pray the whatever it is they are trying to, but I've suspended the Ruga. So talking about this again, maybe there's let's see the plan they have moving forward for.
They say Army quizzes general over stolen 400 million naira. That's coming from. Now let's just go straight to the social media and see what we have here. Okay, we have a Monday motivation, Monday thoughts, brown skin girl challenge, career masterclass with Dikbo, Monday morning, William Bode Thomas, Amen, Zara, Ronke Kizu, Jesus cousin, Nigeria. Okay, all there. So we are just going to take Monday motivation. That's what we have for Monday motivation, and we look at what they said about Nigeria also. Okay, this coming from APO English, Group English. I think I want to take that. It says, may your coffee be strong and your Monday productive. That's if you have coffee to drink at all. If you have any coffee to drink in the first place. Then it says, a look of control and confidence can give you a mental edge that results in victory. So regardless of how you feel inside, try to look like a winner that you are.
Yeah.
That's a good one. From Memi Dennis, he has been giving us one of the most interesting quotes we get over time. And we see Manchester United jumping into a new week. You see that, Jai?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just don't want to jump in a week and make a very bold statement in that. Okay, let's just go straight to Nigeria. What are people saying about Nigeria everywhere? Let's hope we see some nice ones. Yeah. You remember that Muslim cleric that hit Christian during the attack? Okay, I think he has a story on CNN, and Imam of Peace, one strong social media influencer, said, "Me Nigerian Imam Abubakar Abdullahi, an 83-year-old Muslim cleric who hit 262 Christians in his home and mosque during a terrorist attack massacre in central Nigeria. It was honored by the U.S. government. This is my kind of Imam and my kind of Muslim."
Even Vanguard,
as a matter of
recognized him during our
Vanguard of the year. Well, indeed.
It just goes to show that it's good to be good.
Honestly, and this is Imam of Peace saying that this is my kind of Imam. Actually, this is our kind of human being, not just our kind of.
And to think that the people he saved were Christians.
Christians in a region where it looks like there's a war. Or or a disagreement between them, one religion and another. Very bold stuff. He's someone we should continue to talk about every day.
But that's a large number,
262. Then I was wondering how big is that house, or how big is this compound, or whatever. He took responsibility for them.
Whatever award he's getting now, he truly deserves it.
Yeah, and this man should be an ambassador of peace, or ambassador of religion, ambassador of something.
These are the kind of people should be recognizing and giving positions to hold, not
those indicted ones as we was talking about the other time. Okay, we can take pride in this and celebrate this. At least this is CNN coming out right now, and is in the face of the world right now. So we can take one good one from
there's a story, I think on page 7 or page 6 of Vanguard, that talked about an Air Force officer that returned money. So people like that we should appreciate.
Wait, why don't we make all the noise about people like this?
No, we celebrate mediocrity. Yeah, that's the word. We celebrate it a lot. And
so let me buttress that point that you just made now. Mazi Efan, he said Twitter Nigeria is only woke when it comes to issues of gender and rape. Talk about aviation, finance, products, design, politics, or any other social issues, and you would find only a handful per topic. Would be all right at the end.
There was also this trending video over the weekend of core members that helped one man that was abandoned by his wife and children. Went there, cleaned his house, took care of him, provided him with some toiletries and some other things. It's people like that we should be talking.
And yet again, there was another core member, I've forgotten her name right now, that tweeted a question on agriculture to the Kaduna State Governor, El-Rufai, and then by replying, she got an instant job. You see that core member? We've run a video for that person on Vanguard Live before, and we're actually going to bring that video back again because we are going to pursue and make some noise. Because now that you are saying this, it is a project that we can also adopt here at Vanguard Live. To ensure that we start focusing more on the bright side of life, on people that are making things. We should have a program for that when we make that. So you should really stay tuned for that program where we are going to have a profile of lot of achievements that people are doing. They don't have to be all negative. They don't have to be negative. They don't have to be very popular. They can just be in the corner of their house making things happen, because this is a people powered program, So we are really going to start giving you something on that. Maybe before the week runs out, we have our first edition, and then we'll continue to run it in sequence. She was that girl that actually made a coal through a brisket from waste.
Okay.
Yes, it was a very fantastic, and that was when she was serving. She just finished serving a couple of months ago, and now she got herself a job. Talking about someone that has been very, very industrious. Okay, we are actually going to do something about that. Yes, so that we would lend our voice also to what it is. Then we have Mazi Chima saying, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is what Nigeria has become. There indeed was a country. What is that thing they are talking about there? Okay, talking about the religion of Nigerian footballers.
And religion?
Yes, of Nigerian footballers. Somebody came up with a list and started drawing that thing. About 96. Exactly what that guy is saying, that this is what it has gotten to right now in this country, where we are talking about someone saving lives of the other religion, regardless of their affiliation and all those things. Very, very petty issues there we have. Okay, Nigeria is a great country. We
Yeah.
must do one thing or the other to ensure that we find the great things in Nigeria and then bring it back one way or the other. Okay, Emmanuel, we would have to go right now. Yes, that is what we can take this morning on the show. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if there are comments for us to take here. Okay, Ajimobi Success is a top five. Said we are the future leaders. We are the future leaders. It's a very long piece there. It's a few days ago I watched a video of 3 young men within the age of 19, 20, 21. 2 dead, 1 escaped. 2 dead, 1 escaped. I didn't see him. I only watched 3, and the last one, according to report, died later. These young men were caught snatching a car and engaged the police in gunfire while trying to escape. Later, as I retired to my bed, finding sleep, I and ruminating through the problems of this country, I began to imagine where are the young ones to build Nigeria in the nearest future. It then dawned on me that a sizable majority of the youth are engaged in one notorious activity or the other. Take for instance, many of our young population are on their way to Europe through the desert and Mediterranean Sea. Some are hanging out at one shop watching soccer for gambling. Some are busy discovering and abusing drugs. The latest discovery is is Otepa blood tonic. They are more in other motor parks as Agbero, while some are on the highways and highways robbers. Another group are taken to kidnapping. Others are outside the country to study and may never return to live in Nigeria. Many others are graduating from our universities half-baked or more confused than when they went in. Our ladies are just there, some waiting to get married. To who exactly, I don't know. Some are doing coded runs to survive. With all the above mentioned, how many youths are left to marshal this country to the next stage? And that is Ajimobi's Success. Adewale, that's his name. This is a very thought-provoking one here.
There was a video. I actually saw the video. I was talking about 4 teenagers that they hijacked what do you call it now? A car.
Okay.
Actually, they collected the car, and then, according to their confession, they had plans of shipping it to Lagos to sell. But luck ran against them when, unknown to them, the owner of the car had a tracker on the car.
So
he was able to track the car to a place where they met with these young guys who started exchanging gunfire with the policemen. 2 died. The third one died.
Eventually.
Yeah, the 4th one escaped. So I think it's worrisome where everybody is trying to get rich quick syndrome. Get rich or die trying. The funny way is where our society is heading.
Okay, let's take one other comment there. So the press and the government are not fighting this war on security as they should. Criminals are criminals and so should be dealt with as such by the government of the day. The press should stop calling Fulani, Yoruba or Igbo. Let us treat them as criminals. Okay, I think that's another very interesting one. We should focus on the fact that they are criminals. Criminals should be handled.
Criminal come from any.
They come from anywhere.
Doesn't change the fact that it's a criminal.
Yeah, it doesn't change that fact. Okay, thank you very much. That's how far we can go this morning on the show. Okay, and it has been today in the news. Please keep it locked down. You can still join the conversation, get a topic of interest, and bring your comments coming in. And of course, we'll see what we can make of it. You can follow us on our social media pages and our handles. You can see everything on your screen as we go on the show. And of course, don't forget to get all the news as they break on our website, www.vanguardngra.com. And then my name is Victor Winka. Emmanuel Kuba, it's good to have you here again.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Of course, see you next time.